Sup guys, my name's Hobbs, and welcome to HobbsTalks. I want to start off by saying Happy New Year to everyone listening. I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday season. I know 2022 was probably a hard year for some of y'all, and honestly, it was kind of hard for me too. For some of you who don't know who I am, I'm a variety content creator on Twitch, and I also make YouTube content here on YouTube. I got into content creation in February of 2018. And I started off making Yu-Gi-Oh content. But over the years, Yu-Gi-Oh content became harder and harder to kind of manage and come up with, unique content. So I decided to kind of rebrand in quarantine, because of COVID, and started doing more variety content, playing the games that I want to play, doing the things that I want to do, kind of just having fun with making content. My main reason for doing content creation is really to make just one person's day just a little bit better. Content is what got me through the quarantine. It was a really, really rough time for me, both mentally, emotionally, and, even physically to an extent. So that's the real reason that I make content. And one of the things that I wanted to try out this year as we start up 2023 is to do kind of a long form, just kind of discuss whatever kind of content. I think it's kind of, a cool thing to do, just to, provide a little bit of, insight into what I think, the way that, I exist as a human who just happens to make content. So this is going to be HobbsTalks. That's kind of the thing that I've named it. I think it's more going to be just kind of my thoughts, and then maybe, kind of evolve over time into a more, answering questions or giving advice. Although I'm not sure why anybody would want advice from me. I'm just some random guy who talks to a camera a lot. But I've got a lot of life experience, and I can definitely provide some advice, whether it be good or bad. I can give advice. But yeah, that's kind of what HobbsTalks is really going to be. Just kind of a place for me to, speak my thoughts about any random subject or something that I'm going through, something cool that I'm doing, whatever it may be. In theory, I have this set up as a monthly thing, so I upload one a month. But if I really like what it is, I may start doing weekly uploads of it. I don't really have too much of a plan for it specifically outside of just a monthly upload. But if I have something cool I want to talk about, maybe I just make a video and upload it. This first video is more going to be, talking about what this series is going to consist of. A lot of things are changing for me, and, I had a pretty good year overall for content creation in 2022, and I'm hoping 2023 is where I really push some of that, that growth and really hit some really bigger numbers. Content creation is really important. I mentioned that, the reason I do it is to make one person's day better. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. Just providing something that makes one person's day just a little bit better. If I can get to the point where it's more than just one, then I've exceeded every expectation and goal that I've set for myself. Something I don't really talk about a lot. During the lockdown, during the quarantine, I was working from home for the first time. Everybody thinks that working from home is like the dream job, where there's, you get the freedom of being home and the freedom to, kind of do whatever you want while you work, as long as you're good at multitasking. It's not a problem. I thought this too. And going in to it, I was really excited. Like, oh yeah, I get to, get up when I want to, work when I want to. But that wasn't the case. The work-life balance never really existed because I was always at work. I couldn't separate work from being at home, and it hit me hard. I suffer from depression already, and the depression that manifested during the lockdown was way worse than, anything I'd really dealt with outside of a couple of niche situations throughout my life. Despite that, I hated what I was doing. I hated how things were going. I started looking at other avenues for employment. But during that, the one solace that I had in this dark time that I was, living through was content. This is when I first started watching Twitch more regularly and, really consuming YouTube content outside of my normal niche. I discovered a lot of really, really fantastic creators, and they really got me through that rough time. And I'm sure it's the same for a lot of people. So I want to give back. And if I can do that in any way, hope maybe this series that I'm starting, maybe it's a good way to really move the needle forward. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you have, a wonderful 2023. I hope your day gets a little bit better. And thanks for listening to Hobbs Talks.